This is what you can make knowing the basics. I'm gonna break down my Leave Me From The Ground remix from SoundHolo I made. It's up on SoundCloud if you wanna check it out. By the way, thanks for the 10k plays and the 500 likes. Love you all. But yeah, let's get started. We have first these drums, we have the kick, these 3 claps that together sound like this. We have all these drums routed to my drum bus where I have this punch and this free clip. And before we continue, I have to tell you that I have this master that is basically kind of the same I made on the Beast Boy one. It's my way of mastering my shit, so you can check that out and you can know how I made this master. Yeah, because that's why everything sounds muffled and really distorted. Without it, it sounds like this. And with it. But yeah, let's keep going. Then we have these hats going on. And all of that together sounds like this. And here we have a really fucking heavy sub bass. That is basically this patch. If you want to, you can copy the parameters, but everything is made here on the mixer. I have that sub bass routed to this channel, and this channel is routed to 2 different ones. On the first one, I have the lows processed with this distortion, then this OTT, and finally this EQ, just to get rid of everything but the lows. Sounds like this because of the master. Without the master, it sounds like this. I really cleans up. And on the second one, I made the distorted layer by putting this texture first. That is basically adding on top of the sub a white noise, just like erosion. Then to muffle it up, I put this distortion, then some disperser, then this decapitator that is basically a fucking distortion but even heavier. Then we have this disperser. Finally, some OTT and this EQ like this, getting rid of the low and boosting some of these frequencies to make it sound like better. I don't know. And with this up together, sound like this. Then we have these chords. We have 2 synths going on here. This one and then this one. Well, on the first one we have the oscillator A and oscillator B with saw waves. The oscillator A has 5 voices of unison and the second one has 7 and is 1 octave up. Then we have the sub oscillator with a sine wave, 2 octaves up. Then we have a low pass filter with the cutoff modulated with this LFO1 as well as these level parameters on this oscillator. Then on the effects we have some hyper dimension, some chorus, some compression and this reverb. We have the chorus mix and the reverb mix, also modulated by this LFO1. And as you can tell, we have this envelope 1 with some release. Without any effects, it sounds like this. So first what we add is an OTT, some vocodecs. It's not doing that much because the vocodecs has the mix level at 25%. Then we have another OTT, some disperser going on, and this heavy EQing to get rid of the harsh frequencies and sound, and it soften it up a little bit. Then the second one, the oscillator A and B with saw waves, but the oscillator A it's only with 5 voices of unison and 1 octave down, and the oscillator B it's a raw saw wave. And we have the sub oscillator also with a saw wave and it's also 1 octave down. Then we have a low pass filter with the cutoff again modulated by this LFO1 as well as the level of all of these oscillators. Then we have the hyper dimension and compression on the effect, and in the post processing we also have some OTT as the first tagging, then some disperser, this Valhalla Supermassive to give it a little bit of a metallic feeling. Then we have this EQ to get rid of the harshness of this one, and finally some OTT to compress it all. And these two together sound like this. And then we have this bass lift. And well, previously I talked about how to make this one on a previous video, on the bow one, on the leotrix signature bass lead video I made previously. So you can check those out and you can know how to make this one, because I don't want this video to be really long. I want this video to be like as fast as possible because I don't want to waste your time. But then we have this harsh but pretty lead that is made up by these 4 sounds. The first one, the second one, the third one, and this last one. Without any effects, the first one sounds like this. We first have this quantized distortion that basically is the foundation of these sounds. Then this disperser. And as you can see, this curve is aligned to the fundamental of the sound. Right there. Then we have this transient shaper. Then this disperser again, but more orientated on the mids. And another one on the highs. So we have that slimy effect disperser has. Then we have this Valhalla Supermassive for that delay. And finally we have this EQ getting rid of all the lows, mids, low mids. And finally this G clip that was turned on the whole process. If I turn that off, pretty low on volume. What I'm doing with this G clip, I'm just twisting the gain plus 9 dB basically, and the softness kinda all the way up. Then we have the second one without effects. This is basically from, what the fuck, Hentai Prince, oh my god, what the fuck. Shout out to the motherfucker that made this on Nichan Kawaii. What the fuck am I looking at? But it's a fucking preset, I didn't make it. First I put this reverb with the decay like this, like your PP if you watch hentai. Then we have the wet kinda all the way down, and the size is kinda above of the halfway, sounds like this. Then we have this quantized distortion again, that is gonna bring back all the fucking volume of the reverb. Then we have this disperser in the mids. Then we have this OTT to compress it all and bring up the fucking volume. Then we have this EQ going on here just to get rid of all the lows, low mids. And then we have this synth that doesn't have any post-processing, it's just this saw wave with 5 voices of unison. On the effects we have this hyper dimension, this downsample distortion, some chorus and some compression. And on the matrix I'm playing with the master tuning modulated by this LFO1 all the way up. And as you can see, this LFO1 is like this, and that's it. Then we have this synth. It is like the Emo Boy 303 synth. If you don't know, I made one video about it, but it's in Spanish. If you don't speak Spanish, you're not gonna understand shit. But basically you have this square wave and the envelope is like this, really peaky. Then we have some hyper dimension, some downsample distortion again, and some compression. And then we have this shape on the LFO1, really sharpy, because we're modulating the master tuning again. Because without it, it sounds like this. It's really subtle, but makes a lot of difference. First we have this quantized distortion again. Then we have this disperser. As you can see, it's on the root note of the whole sound. Then we have this fruity chorus that makes a ton. Then we have this reverb. That it's really curious because you have a little bit of decay again to what is in the middle, and then we have the size really big, so it makes this interesting maybe. Then we have some OTT to compress all the fucking sound, and by consequence it's gonna increase the reverb volume. And finally we have some EQing going on here to get rid of all the lows. And all of these together sound like this. But that's not it. We have all of it routed to this channel where I first have this transient shaper, this disperser, this other disperser, one OTT, then this EQ to get rid of the low and low mid, and decreasing a little bit of the mids right here with the highs. And to bring back out the volume, I lowered with the OTT. We have this G clip going on here with the gain plus 6 dB. Then we have the clip 77% and the softness all the way up. Then we have this EQ to get rid of the lows that may have appeared because of the OTT. And that's it. All of this together gonna sound like this. And these are the basics to make your Future Riddim drop really cool and not using PITCHMAP or some of these type of plugins. And if you wanna get inspired with the Beats with Video one, with the Bow and the Chord Video one, I'm opening up my Patreon. And with this subscription, you're getting also the promise of getting more videos and more projects with the videos. So yeah, I hope you all learned something. Hope you all like this. Subscribe, turn the notification bell on, comment whatever, leave a thumbs up, follow me on Instagram, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.